Hi there, Sagittarius. It's your February 2026. I'm there's a word. There's a word and having difficulty placing it, because it's not reptilian. But anyway, let me see if I distract myself from it, if I can actually place what this is for, because it's not going to be about reptilians. This is not about reptilians. This is about riparian rights. So unless you're a realtor, I don't know why. I think I'm just laughing because, immediately my first thought was, well, the introduction was running is, what's going on with the reptilians again? Like, what is this all about? Are we going to actually have to go there and get the Space Force deck? And I don't want to do that to you. But if you're interested in a reading where we may discuss discussing reptilian shapeshifters and other things, you could reach out to me at ritayanez.com. You can leave me a comment, let me know what's up. I'll try to get to you. It is a little bit more difficult to get a hold of me right in, social media. So if you schedule an appointment with me, it'll be easier for me to be able to help you with these disgusting reptilian shapeshifters. Okay, so I don't know. Somebody reads Fausto. Okay. I don't know. Do I really want to do this? No, let's go to the romance angels because I know that with the reptilian shapeshifters and riparian rights. So, what are riparian rights? So, riparian rights are basically the right to access water. Okay. And when you have land, when you have property that abuts to or is adjacent to water, it's very important to know who has the riparian rights. This is something that could coincide. Oh, I don't know if it's not just riparian rights. You could, well, you'd know if you have a piece of property that is very close to or has water next to, on, under, like the water is going to go somewhere. Not a reptilian. I don't know. You know, Chupacabra's got to get a little drink somewhere if there's not a goat around. Somebody could be born in the year of the goat. All right, so somebody could be a realtor. I don't know why this is coming up. It could be into real estate. This could be about real estate. This could be about access to your water. Maybe you've got water rights. Maybe you've got, water shares. Maybe there's something going on with an easement as it relates to getting to a check gate, for example. In some parts of the country, you would understand that if you were near that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it because then it wouldn't be about you or anybody you know. This could be about use of this could be about using somebody else's water. I almost said using somebody else's hose. Don't make me go there. I don't want to go there. Okay, let's keep things pure. All right? Because I will start coming up with jokes. And it's not that these things are funny. Water rights are not funny. I'll have to tell you about the water baron that I used to know. This was incredible. And, he let me, he could be deceased by now because it was when I was working in banking. This gentleman, this is kind of funny because he was the water baron of Nevada. Oh my goodness. I have to stop there because I don't want to give too much about myself away here. What else? What is it about this water? Please don't make me go into the bodies in the water because it always happens with you guys. So there's got to be, you would know. If you're the Sagittarius that knows about those bodies, then you probably don't want me talking, which means I'm going to talk. Okay, let's see. So we've got the water. We've got water rights. There's a potential for easement, water that you're adjacent to, abutted to, like it could be an irrigation pond. I don't know what's going on with this water. Again, like this may not be for you. You would know if it is. Oh, is this about usufructuary type rights? Usufructuary rights. Somebody's a realtor or somebody's into real estate or there's something going on with realty. Usufructuary rights. Okay, let's see. Well, those dropped out, but I didn't feel good about it. Did somebody drop out of a relationship? Is somebody dropping out of a relationship again? Could you guys just kind of stay put? Well, I mean, Sagittarius doesn't stay put. Stay put. Something's going on with somebody's foot. Somebody's going on with somebody's lower leg. I really just want to get to this reading, Sagittarius, because you will get it eventually, right? Somebody wants to drop out of something. Somebody's having an issue with the foot. Somebody's having an issue with the foot, with an ankle. Having happy. Pizza. I don't know what that is. Let me see if we can. I almost said shapeshifter. Okay, somebody's a reptilian. Screw you guys. I do not want to deal with the reptilians. I need to be quiet. Okay. Late is the hour, Gandalf the Grey. All right, let's see. Somebody's a gray. Let's get to this. Let's see. Romance angels, Holy Spirit, holy angels, let us know. This is supposed to be a kind of love reading. I don't know. Oh, that one kind of flew out there. I think we're going to take that. Okay, so we have attraction. Do you see that? You're attracted to somebody attracted to you. Sagittarius, you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Stay present. All right. So that's going to be the cue. I think I've got a kitty hair on here. Kitty. All right. Somebody's got a kitty. What's it got? All right. Let's see. Pussycat. I love you. Yes. What is that all about? That felt really weird in my hand. Something feels weird in somebody's hands. Somebody has breast implants, and I'm not kidding you. That's exactly what I heard them say. I don't want to do this. Okay, but we're going to do this. Maybe you don't want to do this. Somebody has breast implants. It's getting hot in here. All right. So what, did somebody tell you that they were real? I'm not going to bother anybody about that. You do whatever you want. It's your body. Just be good to yourself. Don't do drugs. Don't hurt yourself. I'm like, you can't see this. I take off this super gigantic. This robe is so huge. It's like for somebody about 3 feet taller than I am, and it's huge. Okay. And my boobies, I can't. I mean, I have something underneath, obviously. Not much, but then they're just kind of moving and shaking, and I've got it going on. Somebody's got breast implants, and not me, but somebody does. Did somebody try to pass it off? Somebody doesn't like the way this feels. I'm so glad that there's some levity here. The levity, it probably isn't quite the same. I don't know anything about breast implants. Okay, I don't have them. I don't know anything about them. Okay, so please forgive me. I'm so sorry. Okay, look, either somebody's on drugs or somebody's getting into the drinky or something. I don't know, because suddenly I felt very lightheaded. I don't, it's like you put the lime in the coconut. I don't know, man. Like there's something that's wrong with these boobs. Okay. Well, maybe you're a gentleman and you're dealing with somebody that's got to drop like 75 pounds like yesterday. And, they're looking matronly, like they're kind of, I don't know what this is. I please, Lord, help me, Jesus. Some, somebody needs, somebody needs to have a heart to heart conversation. All right. Honestly discuss something. So, it may not be as trivial as the breast implants. I don't know. Maybe for so many people it's a life or death situation, man. Let me tell you something. I try to keep these down. Okay. Like I try to I try to minimize what this looks like as much as possible. People that are considering implants, let me tell you something. It doesn't make you look younger. It makes you look freaking older. Okay. You'll be sorry. But do what you like. I knew a person who, when I said, "This is gonna look so fake," she said, "I want that fake look. All the firemen's wives have fake looking." And I'm like, "Wow, okay, so I didn't know." Okay, so let's see. Now this card I'm gonna have to try to I don't know what is making me laugh so hard, like, okay, I have to calm down. Trust, so we've got trust that came out in the reverse. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Someone has lost faith in a situation. Somebody has effectively lost trust, no longer trust, has no faith. I feel like I should pull a couple of more because I just kind of blew it and was laughing with you guys here. I don't know what this is. That's why you don't want me on a live because you don't know what's going to happen. I can't even tell you what's going to happen. I don't know. It's not a script, okay? Even if it's a script, I'm gonna take that script and, change it. Hi, Lauren. Okay, I'm just saying hi to Lauren. Okay, so here we go. Let's get a couple more because there's an attraction to somebody. Somebody's just sitting there. You might just be smelling the roses. You could have lovely red hair and you're smelling these vintage roses. And then we've got, the need to have a heartfelt. Somebody wants to talk to you, Sagittarius, or you could be the Sagittarius and you want to talk to somebody. Maybe it's not just about boobies. Okay. All right. Maybe look, I nursed each of my children 4 years each. So, okay. So there was going to be boobies. I doubt the conversations, women nurse. That's what we do. Okay. Now that I'm calming down, let me put on this. Well, this robe belongs to a giant, so okay. All right. Trust is in reverse. You've lost trust. You've lost faith or confidence in a situation, and I don't know where we're going, and I don't want to gyp you. Somebody's a gypsy. I don't want to gyp you out of a reading just because I was laughing, because I do feel that there is an undercurrent of something serious. I mean, we're starting off with Hesperian rights. What is going on? Something about the real estate. Is there an asset division, property division, a question about the asset of the property? This could have to do with an inheritance. All right, let me see how that comes in. Somebody's name is Diego, or they could be from San Diego. No, it's not the name Diego. It's San Diego significant. Significant. Did I say significant? Fiant. Oh, that's making me think about that little Fiat thing with the naked chicken song. Somebody wants to do the naked chicken. I don't know what the naked chicken is. How do you do the naked chicken? Tell me about the naked chicken. How do you do the naked chicken? I've got some chicken in a crock pot. A crock pot is significant. A crock pot, an Instapot. Somebody's doing something in a pot. If you're smoking pot, it better be in a state where it's legal. And remember, you could get drug tested anywhere. You could get busted. I'm not against it. I'm just saying, no, this is about a crock pot. Chicken in a crock pot. Chicken in a crock pot. Somebody doing a naked chicken dance? What? Okay. I'm going to take this one on the top and I'm not going to look at the others. So let go of control issues. Which one of you Sagittarius types is like a control freak? Is it you or is it somebody else? Did you meet a control freak? Just somebody that you were like, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. I like to be free. I don't want, somebody bumped into a control freak. I can tell that. I know what that feels like. Okay. All right. I see that we do have a romantic situation here. So I don't know. Dare I use the curiosity? I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Somebody needs to fly. Somebody needs to fly like an eagle. Let the spirit carry me. Okay, so somebody's going to fly like an eagle. Don't you put any control here over our Sagittarius types because it would take a very negatively aspected Sagittarius to have control issues. It wouldn't be you because generally, if you are balanced and not mental, you don't have control issues. It's, I see control issues with Sagittarius types when there are other imbalances, so like you don't want to see a Sagittarius with a control issue. Please don't tell me that there's somebody here who's a Sagittarius who's actually involved with the Sagittarius because that doesn't go well. That doesn't always go well. Of course, you can't just take it at face value. You know what I'm telling you here. Because we'd have to, if we were really going to look at charts, look, my relationships are not based on, hey, what's your sign, baby? Like, you get to meet me and then, make a decision. First, you got to see if you pass the test. It's probably going to be one hell of a test. Okay, Sagittarius, if they don't love you at your worst, all right? I am not suggesting everybody just like, whoa, damn, shit. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, somebody has a fake ass profile. Somebody's got hair extensions. Somebody could be wearing a wig. So look at this fake profile. Somebody's doing something with a fake profile. Are they spying on you, Sagittarius? It's not just a filter, it's a full-on facade. The person being presented doesn't match the reality behind the screen. There's a fake-ass mofo here. Sagittarius, there's somebody who just can't be real. There's just somebody who can't be real. This could be, if you look at the image, you could be male, female. It doesn't matter. I don't care what flavor you choose. Just be honest about the flavor. Like, don't confuse us. Don't confuse us. Don't confuse us. Just like, don't involve us. That's why I only do straight men. No. I've been around the other and I know what you people do. If you people are watching, you're the cross watcher and already get out of my house. Go. Okay, so you could be dealing with a woman, who is large, maybe she has long blonde hair, streaked hair. This could be a woman with tattoos on the arms. Okay, but this is a fake ass profile. This mofo is stalking you. I'm getting a bad feeling about that. I don't want this to get too exciting. Can this just not be normal? Can this not be normal? Somebody can't be normal. Somebody's not normal. Somebody's abnormal. Somebody has a chemical imbalance. Now, if you are the woman, it could be that you're being stalked by a woman and she could be a Sagittarius. It doesn't have to be a Sagittarius. We haven't even gotten into the reading. Okay, so we're just trying to we're trying to do something here. Oh, damn. Look at this. Is just not gonna. Lies detected, my friend. Look at this wench ass bitch. I mean, she's pissed. Okay, so we've got a woman. I want to say that's a woman. Look at this man in the back is looking at a phone. Lies detected. It says a version of the truth was offered, but it was curated, cultivated, or conveniently incomplete. Damn, don't tell me it was you. It could have been somebody else. Somebody was lying. And look, isn't this chick the same chick? Similar chick as the one with the tattoos. Tattoos on the arms is significant. Somebody with long hair is significant. Somebody's a tatted ass. Maybe this bitch is riding a Harley. I don't know, man, because that's harsh. Well, not everybody who has, but look, doesn't she look like she's pissed? This bitch is pissed. Be careful with her. She might deck you. She looks like she could kick your ass. All right. I'm not saying that you're a chicken shit, Sagittarius, but Sagittarius people, I'm not saying that you guys are cowards or that you back down, but you would rather avoid a physical fight. I've never really known, I can't think of a single Sagittarius that actually would have gone toe to toe. And, I actually don't know a single Sagittarius. Fake profile lies detected. Fake profile lies detected. Somebody here wants to talk to somebody or is talking to somebody or got caught talking to somebody else or somebody got caught scrolling through or obsessing over somebody's social media. And it looks like it's the man because in that image, it's the man that's holding the cell phone. First one, fake profile. Maybe a woman was catfishing a man, her own man, to see what the hell he was up to. Damn. Well, he was up to this. We got a third wheel. So we've got somebody who was definitely, it says a side character is trying to write themselves into the main plot. But this story already has a leading duo. Okay, so there are two people here involved. There is a couple. Are you part of this couple? Is this a couple that you're infiltrating? Don't infiltrate somebody else's relationship. It never goes well. And then you'll have to deal with karma, severe karma. When you mess with somebody else's relationship, let me tell you, the karma is severe. And the thing is, you never know when it hits, but it does so with the G forces, okay? Like it's going to kick your ass. And you never know when it is. And you really hope that it doesn't take too long because I've seen some karmic blowbacks that have taken decades and decades. And when it does happen, I actually witnessed one that when it did occur, it was at the end of a person's life. And it was just so sad. It was just so sad, although it destroyed so many lives in between. All right, I'm not going to preach. Okay, somebody could be a preacher, somebody could be a pastor. You're probably watching me, maybe you're not watching me. I don't care. Okay, because this is for entertainment purposes only. You saw the disclaimer at the beginning, and if you don't get this, if you don't understand it, I can't help you. All right, this is for fun. These are paper cards. Look at that. See, they do nothing. There's the kitty here. Okay, I'm going to wake up the kitty. All right, Sagittarius. Oh, title card. Somebody's got a title. Somebody's important. Or somebody could be impotent. I'm not sure. Go to the doctor, get some advice. I know a good doctor for that, but I don't know anything about those things because I don't happen to have a wanker. Somebody's a wanker. Somebody yanked one out. I don't know. Somebody is a jerk. Somebody is a jerk. And of course, we'd have some other kind of crappy card here. We've got the X drama. The X drama card. I've never had this card, or not that I remember. Oh, Lord. The past didn't stay in the past. An old flame is reigniting chaos, stirring up drama, or still has emotional pull. You can't pull shit. Tell these people they can't pull shit. And didn't I just say wanker? Somebody's yanking something. I don't want to talk about this. This is okay. I don't want it. It's making me sick. Making me sick. Somebody makes me sick. Somebody makes you sick. They all make us sick. Okay. I don't know why people have to be assholes, but we're going to keep pulling these cards. Somebody's pulling on something. The person that's going to do the quote unquote quality check on this, he's going to have a good time. Let's see. All right. So we definitely have some woman who could have been catfishing her own man on the internet to see what he would do. And he's like over here, hiding out in the back, checking out somebody else's profile, probably another woman. Now flip and switch the roles because I don't care. All right. It's got to work. She's got roles. This woman's got roles. Somebody's got to get rid of some roles. Okay. It's for your health. Okay. Think about your internal organs because they're the ones. If you've got a lot of fat on the outside, you have got a lot more fat on your organs on the inside. Some woman is pissed off. Okay, well, then maybe she needs to go get another weave. Look, if a man is going to cheat on you, let him. Let him. What do you care? You're just going to walk away and get rid of him. Problem solved. No need for drama. Just say bye-bye. Okay? Look, and I'm sure that you have to feel the feels and go through the emotions or whatever it is that's going to cause you to feel. And I don't mean in any way to ameliorate anyone's feelings in a circumstance like this. But if you are dealing with somebody that wants to cheat on you, let them go. And then you have no baggage whatsoever. You never have to worry about it again. You never have to think about it again. You never have to talk about it again. It can just be dust in the wind. It's over. Okay, it's over with somebody, but somebody's not letting it go. Somebody's not letting some past transgression go. Are we going to go back to the thing about people that, look, therapy isn't forever, all right? The goal is to not be in therapy. The goal is to learn how to let go I mean, of course, it depends on the situation. They could be complicated situations. Okay, so real receipts. Damn. What the? Somebody's got the receipts on somebody here. I don't know if it's you. I don't know if it's them. You may have the receipts on somebody. They could have the receipts on you. ¿Qué pasó, mi amigo? All right. Hola, amigo, amigas. All right, let's see. I don't know why people do this, but why do people? I know that young people can get very volatile, and then unbalanced people could never let things go. All right. That's why I never recommend people try to repair situations like that. All right. Once somebody has made you, second choice by taking another choice or having another piece of beef on the plate, then, the best thing is to just walk away because it's never going to be over. It's always going to be a problem. And then if you're dealing with somebody who's not well enough to be able to get past this, and you'll know, like I can go up to my ex-husband and, give him a hug and a kiss, the children of my father, and we're good. We're cool. He's married. I love her too. And nobody cares. Okay. I'm not triggered by being in rooms with them, by having fun with them. I was in their house. I actually have to not talk about that. But, so there was a time when people used to think that with my first husband, that same family, that they couldn't understand how with my first husband, we were so comfortable with each other. We were divorcing and living with each other. I don't know why people had a hard time with it. And then after we were divorced and married, or I was married to somebody else, we were still going out to dinner. Why? Because you have to let things go. What are you going to do? Hang on to something forever? To just make life difficult, you make it, far too annoying. There's a lot of people that have got some mental things going on. Like I don't want to get too ghetto because somebody's making me feel ghetto. This is a ghetto chick. I don't know what's wrong with that lady. I don't think you're the lady. Maybe you are the lady and you're not ghetto. I don't know. Maybe she's a drummer. I'm not sure. She's pissed off and she's covered in tattoos. I mean, they're really highlighting these tattoos are in the upper body. There's tattoos on the shoulders. There's tattoos on the forearm. Somebody's like really tatted up. Lots of people have past, and maybe having tats doesn't mean anything about a past. But she looks a little bit older, so I don't know what's going on there. And that guy in the back looks like a little angel, but, he is looking at that phone. I don't know what's going on here. This woman is pissed off and making me uncomfortable. And maybe the gal on the left is another one. Maybe the one on the left looks African American and the one in the center is a white chick. But that looks like the same lady because even though the tattoos are kind of different, yeah, maybe they're trying to make people look like really like international flavors, like kind of, so that you kind of can't tell what anybody is. But that is definitely an African American chick on the left. Somebody here is an African American. I guess the other one could look similar like her, but she's like a heavy, standard white chick. Okay, let's see what's going on. Let's get one or two more because obviously we have the... We should just end it right here. You've got the receipts. Walk away from this bozo or this weirdo, or it could be the woman or whatever. Like maybe she's pissed off because she's caught. Because in the first picture, she is alone looking at her phone. And in the second picture, he's the one looking at the phone and she's over here. It could be that you are a man and you caught this heifer cheating on you. Damn. Heifer. I did say heifer. She's, Damn. Oh, shit. Okay, snap. We've got somebody could have a love child. Now, the last reading, I'm trying to remember if that was for Scorpio. I was getting really some odd information that related to, DNA and RNA, but there could be something going on here. Somebody could be expecting. There could be a man that caught this woman cheating and she is pregnant by somebody else, or a woman could have caught or could have, discovered her man is cheating and got somebody else who's younger and also covered in tattoos. Is everybody covered in tattoos? Yes, the answer is yes. Rita's stupid. All right, so we also have the gold digger in reverse. Maybe somebody's letting this woman go because he figured out that she is a gold digger, or she's letting him go because she figured out he is the gold digger. She ain't looking for... You know what she ain't looking for. I'm not going to say it. And the boiling point. Somebody's probably drinky a lot because look at that fire. Somebody could be having esophageal issues. Got to be careful. What about that fatty liver? Okay, pressure has been building for too long. The situations one spark away from full-blown combustion. There could be a house fire. Okay, let's stop it with the curiosity and move on to something else. Damn. I knew that it wasn't gonna go smooth when I started getting weird real estate terminology. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, a butt? Yeah, sure, sure, sure. It's a butt here, it's boobs. I don't know, but it's somebody's just like, maybe it's the weight. Maybe it's like it isn't about somebody being heavy. Maybe it's about like some massive gravitational pull because the situation has become so heavy. I'm just making crap up now. All right, so what are we going to go to? We did the curiosity. I don't think I want to go to the cosmic tarot at this hour. I really don't. I'm going to lighten this up for February and, because I don't want to get into this crazy stuff with you guys. I'm telling you right now, if somebody's cheating on you, be okay. Throw a party, buy them a cake, say thank you, and walk away. Okay? So that's easy. There's plenty of fish in the sea. And I'm not saying that it's easy to get over somebody. It's look at plenty of people don't go, where, they cheated on me or where. That ain't my kid. It happens. Well, maybe not the paternity issue's not that common except on the Maury show. God rest Jerry Springer. Okay, we see how that can happen to people. Like, I don't know who the baby daddy is. Think of the term baby daddy. What does that mean anyway? Baby mama, baby daddy. I've never even taken a moment to figure out what the hell that means. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? When somebody says that's my baby mama, what does that mean? Is that my baby's mama? Or has it evolved into something different? Baby mama means some chick I had children with, but we're friends, but we were sleeping with each other, but we made a baby, yet I like to procreate with her and 17 other women. I don't know. Someday I'll look it up when I think it's important enough. And right now I really don't think it's important at all, except this is already kind of ghetto. I'm sorry. This is already kind of like all right, so let's continue the saga. Sagittarius, what's happening with these people? Because your energy should feel balanced. I mean, I'm not, maybe I'm not getting a terribly unbalanced feeling coming from you because maybe you don't give an F. Okay. Maybe you're like, well, I don't give a shit. I want the heifer gone, or I'm going to cut this dork ass, ghetto meister go. Maybe you don't care. Maybe that's why I can't really feel the energy, but I really don't feel like I can step into the energy. Somebody's blocking you, or you have somebody blocked. Maybe the person who you get caught with is somebody that has you blocked and your woman caught you, or flip the roles. There's something here because your energy doesn't feel like you even want any of this anymore. Nobody wants any of this anymore. Maybe the woman's feeling that you don't want her. Maybe you feel like the woman doesn't want you. I don't even know which one it is. I don't know, flip it, switch it, reverse it. But, there's something that's wrong here. It's like you don't even care. It's like your heart was never even in that relationship with this chick with the tattoos, or this man could have the tattoos. I mean, I guess that's a generalization. Look, everybody has a fucking tattoo. Okay, so let's see. Except for me, I'm the tattoo-less Wonder Woman. Here we go. Okay, so we have the Chariot. Yeah, see, somebody's moving forward. Somebody's like, I don't give a fuck. It's past my bedtime. Okay. I'm being summoned. My cat's on the bed. Let's just say that. So we've got the Chariot card. These two chicks are like, yeah, we're going to dump these men and just get a can of soup. Okay, so they want to go somewhere. The Chariot is moving forward. It's forward progress. A vintage vehicle could be significant. Okay, so I don't want to take them because I really didn't feel like that was energy. I should be able to feel that. I think they felt like this. Okay, 2 major arcana in a row. Now we have the Strength card. So we have the Strength card crossing the Chariot. Somebody is saying, I'm scrubbing this person out of my memory. I don't want this. I don't want him. I don't want her. I don't want this. You go figure out who that baby's father is and have that person raise your child, because I'm not raising a child that isn't mine. That's stupid. We don't raise children that are not our children. We've been duped in some way. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life and what to do, but that child deserves to be raised by their own parents. So that's why when I'm into the whole like baby mama, baby dad, who the fuck are all these people? Why does no one know who the father? Well, did nobody attempt to get married? Did nobody attempt to have you don't even have to get married, but did you at least attempt to have, like, a normal relationship in house with a mother and a father, and they live in the same roof, and then they try to take care of the baby, and so the baby kinda grows up with some sense of stability. No, baby mom and the kid's thrown in 13 different directions. Number 13 could be significant. In the foundation, we have the 2 of swords in reverse. So, we've got somebody who's like not looking at what they're doing. Somebody's like, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, have no fun. Somebody's down there like, I don't even want to look at this, but the universe is saying, yes, you will. Perhaps you did. It's at the foundation of why you feel the way you do now in the fading influence. Hmm. You right over there. Okay, so I just heard, I wish a bitch would. Maybe you're like, I wish bitch, I don't know. I'm really feeling ghetto about this. Okay. On the split, we have the moon. Okay. Those are the secrets. Although, like, maybe it's you that is sleeping and just feeling like, isn't she pretty in pink? Okay. And we have the Hierophant. Okay. So this means that either somebody's in a high level commitment and somebody else is sleeping peacefully because they don't give a fuck. This person is like, I don't care. You could take your secrets and shove them up your ass because it's not going to trigger me. I don't care. Somebody doesn't care here. That's why your energy feels very vacant. It feels kind of void about this situation. I think I'm talking about a past situation. And I feel like there's nothing there. There's nothing there. It's almost like there's no, somebody's emotionally dysregulated. I'm not going to sit here and, just make shit up and throw it out in the air. Although somebody's like, maybe there's an air sign. Somebody could be a Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius that you're dealing with, or you are the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But there's something wrong here. One of these two parties in the past was absolutely something is wrong with the more dominant person in the party. Don't think it could be a man. It could be a woman. I've seen women be like, so butch ass will fucking beat your ass. Okay. So there's women that'll beat your ass like a man. Okay. Look, if it's a heifer that's as big as that one, she's got tattoos on the arm, she's gonna beat your shit. All right. I don't I don't like people that get violent like that. I've had to defend myself, obviously, and it's been against men. So I'm gonna tell you something. People are crazy. Situations will make you crazy. Don't be in a situation. You gotta leave when it's safe enough. When there's a person that's gonna trigger you into feeling like you're gonna do whatever you have to do to defend yourself, you need to get out of there as soon as possible before they turn it around on you. And I'm not kidding you. Especially if you're dealing with somebody who's ignorant. And I'm talking about, like, in the most basic way. I've been there, done that, I can tell you something. Okay, so in the fading influence, we've got the 2 of swords, universe is saying a decision has to be made or we will make it for you. Like it or not, here it comes. All right, fading influence. Yeah, I think that this is somebody that you were dealing with in the past. This feels like it's in the past where you've already made a decision because I feel no energy about this. It's like it's weird. Maybe you felt something about this relationship, but the person that you were in the relationship or the Hierophant situation. Did I put those cards away? Yes, I did. Did you see what I did there? No, it was on the split. I don't remember now. Fool. Yeah, somebody in the past is like, I got all the money. Maybe you're a man and you're with a woman who's just like, I'm just in it for the money, fool. I don't even really like you. Or maybe there's an incompatibility, some sexual incompatibility with the turkey there. 2 of swords in reverse, the strength card in the chariot. Like, this isn't going anywhere. You don't move me. Baby, you better shake me. Okay, so we got the moon card here. I can't remember the orientation for that. It's going to be challenging. And there it is again. This is full of major arcana. So this is a situation that was always going to go this way. All right. Yeah, somebody's like, this is all secrets. This is all secrets. Or you could be the sweetheart. You could be the one with the secrets. I don't know who is in this. It could be that both of you have been equally as bad. Somebody's a cuck. Sorry, I had to say it, because I don't. Holy Spirit, Holy Angel, Saint Michael, I don't want the visuals. I can see this bullshit. This is stupid. Cuck people make me sick, make me want to throw up, actually makes me feel violent. This is ridiculous. Okay, in the near future, somebody's a cuck. They know that they're a cuck too. All right. They are a willing cuck. They willingly are a cuck. Okay. They know that they're a cuck. I don't know what this is. This could be a lavender marriage. Somebody could be completely gay and just like with some bitch that's going to beat his ass anyway. And I don't mean to say that this is okay, and I'm not advocating for violence, like I'm just going to be Cuban for a minute. I feel very Cuban about this because I am Cuban, but this is making me feel very triggered. Like these are too damn fun. Maybe this isn't even you. Maybe this is how your ex has moved on with somebody else. Your ex is now in a relationship with they're made like they're both losers. All right, Sagittarius, flip and switch the roles. I don't have to tell you that too many times, but sometimes I get questions. I'm like, you guys are being redundant about this. If you can't figure this out by now. All right, let's see. Near future, Sagittarius, who's the cuck? Damn, this bitch is taking off with some money too. Look, if this is a situation you're in, give her whatever she wants so that she goes away. You'll be happier for it. Boy, it's like it's all of this. Look at that. Chariot, strength, fool, and the moon. All at once. All at once. Somebody's getting hit all at once, kind of like with the strength card, you know, um, those little scrubbing pads that look like they're going to pop somebody in the mouth, pop somebody in the mouth, pop somebody in the mouth. That's what's going to happen. All right, let's see. Card in the near future. I hope you left this behind, Sagittarius, because this looks like some crazy shit. Oh, wow. Okay. Look we're going to take this one. Yep, Knight of Cups. Somebody wants to make an apology to you. Or somebody's trying to make an apology because judgment is here. We're going to keep that one too. Okay. Always reminds me of Leonardo DiCaprio. Catch me if you can. Somebody's been very bad. Somebody, has had a woman in every port. Like somebody may have a sailboat. Like somebody may sail. Somebody could be in the Navy. Somebody could be a fisherman. Somebody could be a longshoreman. Okay, so we've got the judgment card. Somebody's trying to apologize to you, but look at this. You're like, look, you're going to apologize to me? You can kiss my ass. I'm worrying about my figure because I've got a hot man and he makes me feel good about myself and takes care of me and loves me and would never hurt me or put me in danger. And you've left me out here like a piece of steak on a scale. Okay, you may feel like the person who in the past, hurt you, left you out there vulnerable, like a piece of meat for anybody to attempt to take advantage of. And while you're focused on your weight or like your goals or whatever you're doing or trying to work on yourself and otherwise focused on something else, look at this guy. Looks like he's looking at her T-bone steak or whatever the hell kind of cut that is, while he's got another woman in the background. The other woman could be a blonde and you could be the brunette. Like, I wouldn't take this person back. Why even bother with an apology? With the Chariot card, the Strength card, going all the way back to the Fool and the Moon, this is a long time ago. If somebody didn't make it right in a reasonable amount of time, what's the sense? No, 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 no. This is why I love the Housewives Tarot. In all seriousness, look at the vulnerability here. And it's perfectly poised. The person trying to apologize to you with this tiny ass little cup who's a little boy who thinks he's, I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. Like, look at him. He's like looking right at her ass like, hey, as soon as I can, I'm going to get you. Okay, I wouldn't accept this. This is bullshit. This is like you need a real man. And when you get a real man, you'll know exactly what that, you'll know what safety feels like. Okay. Get somebody who's mature. It doesn't mean you have to have any reaction if this person does come into you in the near future to try to talk to you or whatever, because he's probably going to gaslight you and say that he's only there to give you some closure, to make you feel better. And you're like, what the fuck? I don't even think about you. Okay, so I got somebody else. So how am I interested at all? In fact, you're making me uncomfortable because you're looking at the tip of my steak. Okay. All right. No, honey. Male or female, flip and switch the roles. You could be a man and this woman is just like totally fixated on your magic wand because you know how to do the thing and you know how to do it really well and you do it all night long and you really wreck a person and that's beautiful. Okay, so okay. And my mom's not going to see this one for sure. So I'm just being a little bit more explosive than usual because she's not going to see this one. Okay, so let's see. All right, for the current environment for this situation. What's the current environment? What are we looking at right here? Next to the Two of Swords, yeah. Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands in reverse. That's what it looks like in the upright. You know, don't let yourself get so busy that if you are single, now, if you're already in a relationship, I am talking about the past and these idiots don't matter, but don't let yourself get so busy with the cleaning, 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 or the doing, 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 or the busy work, busy work, busy work, trying to clean something up to make it sparkle, that you aren't just using up your time to avoid dating new people, okay? You can date and do what you want to do. What is her weight on the scale? What is significant about this? What? Does that say 0? Yeah. Oh, she's feeling light and juicy. Okay, so this is reminds me of the Egyptians. This reminds me of a person's heart being light as a feather. You have no karma here. You have no karma. If you are the person who this person's coming in to finally deliver some late apology to you, you're the one at 0 karma. Why would you want to interact with this person and risk any of their projections, of their gaslighting, because this person's going to be, instead of coming in to make things better, this guy looks like he's coming in to tell you why he did what he did, whatever it is that he did to you, why he didn't make you feel better at the time. I guarantee you he's going to blame you for it. So what are you going to do? Spend your time explaining to him or her why you acted or reacted the way you did or whatever went down here? I wouldn't, sweetheart. No. No, 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 no. There's no sense. Look, I'm expending the energy for you. You're just listening. Because look, freaking right away, the Empress comes out. You're the Empress. You could be a little bit older. You could be writing recipe books. You could be writing books. You could be doing commercials. You could be in the entertainment industry. You don't have to be pregnant. As you can see, she is a little bit older. Recipe for success. You're busy. You're going to make money. You're making your money, or you're just doing whatever it is that makes you happy. While this fool over here pouring a glass of champagne that's probably Welch's. Somebody's name could be Welch. Okay, so what are your hopes and fears? Yeah, please don't. People like this guy, who reminds me of the guy in Catch Me If You Can, they don't ever grow up. They really don't. Because they don't want to. So, when they can't get it up anymore, they're limping, to the toilet. Then they're like, I want to go reclaim my glory days. I want the little girl that I was so in love with. Or, they're like sitting there looking like they got, their boobs hanging down to the floor now. And they're like, I'm going to try to see if that guy will take me back. No, honey, we don't want you. Okay, so what you're afraid of is that things won't work out in your favor. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. You might there's so many major arcana here. Do you see this crazy ass reading? Wow. Damn. Okay. Yeah, you're just worried that, you won't have your turn, that things won't go your way. Now, if you're already in a good relationship, maybe, you're like, damn, I hope there comes a day that I don't think of this anymore. All right. So that seems like it's natural. Or you're actively hoping for a better turn of events. Now, maybe you in your new relationship with your person, although nothing else is showing up here. It shows a whole lot of single people. So there's going to be a lot of you who are single. And actually, if you made it through Year of the Snake without hooking up with anybody, that was much better for you anyway. Okay, Year of the Snake was not a year to start new relationships or certainly get married to anybody or anything like that. Move in with anybody. That I would not have advised that during the Year of the Snake. Quite obvious, right? It would be ridiculous. Year of the Snake is a year where there's treachery all around you. So I'm not saying that people got married in the Year of the Snake are doomed. I'm just saying that I hope they had good astrologers to at least pick a good planetary hour, because I wouldn't have done it. Okay, so let's see. I would pick this year to get married. Better year, the horse, both take off together, knight in shining armor energy. So we got the Ace of Wands in reverse. So somebody's going to try to stick it to you. Maybe the person who's coming towards you just wants to touch you with their little wand. Take your little wand and go away, little boy. Lord have mercy. Like, if you're not a real man, take that thing away. Okay, and this could be about a woman who just wants to tickle you on the wall. Okay, so no, thank you. We don't want that either. Don't look at the tip of our steaks. Okay. Don't think you're touching my wand. If I were a man and I had a wand, I'd be like, look, get away from me. I'm calling the cops. All right, let's see. No, I don't feel like taking them. They didn't flip. Okay, for the summary card, this is such a cool reading, but it's a little bit complicated, isn't it? Ah, there it is. Okay, we've got the King of Pentacles now. We have a king coming in. This will be somebody that you like. Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn is the summary, and it could be that you are feeling this way yourself if you are a male, but the summary of the energy is a person who's going to end up happily married to somebody else. Okay? Because this man showed up as a Knight of Cups, not even a real king. Catch me if you can energy. Girl in every port energy. And look at this guy's like, I just want to pet the dog and I just want you to borrow my robe. And I shouldn't say anything. Some of us are going to wear your robes. Okay. I was given permission. All right. So we've got the King of Pentacles. Let's make one more quick pass to see if there's anything else that we can pick up from here that would be funnier than what it started off as. I drive your truck. All right, I don't give a fuck. All right, let's see. Nope. All right, current energy, Sagittarius. We have the King of Wands in reverse. Yeah, you were dealing with a fire sign. You were dealing with Leo, Aries, or a Sagittarius who was a piece of shit. There, I said it. He's like, yeah, look at all these things I can build. I can build this useless contraption. I can busy myself doing things that really don't matter with my little wrench. And I'm actually just kind of sitting around holding this wand. And, I'm projecting because I really don't have much of a wand at all, but I'm going to pretend like my wand is real big by putting all of these little gadgets and devices. I could do so many things. I could work around the house. I could build you a fence. I could build you a porch. I could build you a pool. I could, do all these things for you. But he's in the reverse. That's who you were dealing with. Flip and switch the roles. Could be a queen. Like I said, what did I say in the beginning? I said, I hope it isn't a Sagittarius on Sagittarius kind of relationship because that would be ridiculous. That would be pure hell. All right. Because it's all Sagittarius, you people can be a lot. All right. That's what I'm going to say. Like if you guys are straight up Sagittarius, and let's just say that you were a triple Sagittarius, I'd be like, oh, hell no. Because there's no way that this person can be taken seriously. They'll try to project seriousness. They'll pretend like they're a grown up, but they're really not. Okay. Because you see what they are is whenever you get that, and I'm not talking about you, Sagittarius, I'm talking about the negative Sagittarius. You know what this person was, the King of Wands was a fake emperor. You were dealing with a fraud, a phony, somebody who pretends to be, I'm Mr. Big Bad Man. Here, put the spotlight on me. Look at me. Put the camera on me. Let me hold the microphone. All right, this was a fake emperor. You were dealing with a fake. You were dealing with a fraud. That was a test, and you were the karmic test for that person, and they juggled you because 7 of Swords. Look at that. There were some cackling bitches and hoes. Look at all of these women were trying to come for one person, or like, look at the knives were right there behind the back. How much more do you want to see that there were a lot of people that were against you? For no reason. No reason at all. Okay, jealousy much? Right, because people have to be insecure. Who cares? Maybe like your ex in that situation, maybe their family's a bunch of fucking assholes, just people that suck. There are people who just suck. There are people that suck so hard that there's no way to remove the suck, even if you were to unplug them from the wall and they're a Hoover. Okay. All right. So in the fading influence. So if you're in a better relationship now and everything is good for you, you're in a stable situation, and this is the past or this is about somebody around you, just know that they dodged a major bullet. This isn't dodging the bullet. This is dodging the whole rifle. Okay. This is dodging the rifle, the gun, the artillery. Okay. So we have got the 4 of Cups in reverse. Somebody has, like you have obviously decided, yeah, I think I'm good. I'm not feeling sorrowful anymore. I'm the fool. I've taken off. I've started over. I'm super cute and I'm doing everything that I want to do. Whoops. Too many, Spirit. Let's do that again. Yeah, you've moved on from this. You've healed from this. And if you look at this, like you're not even like, I don't even need a glass of champagne to feel better about this. You can keep your fucking drink because no, you make me drink. Nobody makes anybody drink. Although, yeah, there are situations that could make us feel like drinking. And look at that card is the devil in reverse. You have said no to temptation. Speaking of temptation, that you realize when people make you feel so bad that somehow you have to honor a piece of paper, or that somehow you're going to get stuck to staying married to them when you realize that this is a complete shit show. And so you're going to have to like drink, and somebody's putting shit in your drinks, and like you're realizing everything's a shit show. You let it go and you say no, and you take care of yourself when you decide that you are worth more than all of these people involved. This is moronic. These are people that didn't treat you well. This is somebody who's a freaking liar and a fraud and a fake. How much more fake can you get than Catch Me If You Can? I pretend to be all these professions, and maybe I can make it look like I do the thing, but I'm really not that good at anything I do. Nobody really cares. All right? Your former person or situation will go on one day to be buried 6 feet under. Everybody's going to forget who they are. Nobody cares. Okay, you're not George Washington. And even then, he was a son of a bitch. Okay, so let's see. Clarifying the Knight of Cups. I mean, you got rid of that. Yeah, look it. You have released the temptation to feel like you've had to somehow martyr yourself or be a martyr. It's ridiculous. You don't have to be anybody's sacrifice. That was already done. Jesus handled that for you. All right. You don't have to be mistreated by anybody or feel like you're going to be a prisoner somewhere. All right. Let's see. 7 of Wands. You've completely escaped this. You are out of there. You're like, no, screw you, man. Look, I'm going to hang you out to dry because you deserve that. And the thing is, you do it with grace and dignity. It doesn't look here like there's any screaming or any shouting. Oh, please don't leave me. This is more like, okay, bye. I'm like, whatever. Here, get your Polaroid. See my ass? Take a picture. All right. Whoa. Yeah. See, Page of Swords, and they're still spying on you. Somebody's still watching you. When I say spy, it just could be somebody watching your social media. So what? Tell them, hey, you like a yank? All right, there you go. Sorry about that. Sorry, Mom. You're not going to see this one. Okay. So now the surrounding environment to the Empress. We have Justice in reverse. Look, because she's like, yeah, you're such a bad boy. You wanted me to spank you. Somehow you got mommy issues. The person you were dealing with could have had mommy issues. It could have been daddy issues. Flip and switch the roles. In the reverse, you're like, not having any of this. I'm not going to sit there. Maybe you finally, realize I don't want to be with a man who isn't a man. I don't want to be with a pud. I don't want to have to watch over you. I don't have to wonder if I'm safe. I don't want to wonder if you are a patriarch or if you're just like a freaking weirdo who can't sit still. Okay. You decided no more puds. Okay. Keep the little Ace of Wands there, wandy thing, fake emperor, and flip and switch the roles. It could have been a woman just as easily here. Yeah. Hopes and fears, temperance, Sagittarius energy. And this is like, no matter what I do with this, I'm the one that has to be able to blend this situation. But I sure as hell am not going to put an ingredient that sucks and isn't what I want and isn't going to taste what I like. It's not going to be anything that I want. So why would I add it to my ingredients? I won't. And that is in your hopes and fears. So I think that's what you're hoping, in that you have mastered the recipe that is the goal. All right. Outcome, and then we're going to wrap this up. We're only going to choose a few names because this is a little bit long, and I would like to go and cuddle up over there with my kitty. All right, let's see. Holy Spirit, one more to close this up, and then a summer. Oh yeah, you drop that burden. You're like, this was too much. This is too much. I will do my own work. If I'm going to do any work at all, if I'm going to clean something, if I'm going to take care of something, I'm going to clean something, do whatever I'm going to do. I'm going to do it for myself. I'm not going to do it for somebody else. All right. Summary card there for the guy coming in, the new person. For those of you who are looking, it's going to be a King of Pentacles. It's going to be somebody who could be a property owner, could be a business owner. Somebody's really cool. He's super cute. His robe will fit you. Okay. And he's got a dog. Okay. So let's see. Oh my God. There's no way. There's no way. That's too many cards, but let's try. Okay. You've got the Star. You are healed. You are, whoops, free from the 8 of Swords. Okay, on your side, but that fell on top of him. Catch Me If You Can is in prison, and that's if he's not in the clink, and that could be a woman because it is over. You're going to file this away. The recipe that you have now perfected is the recipe that does not include some bullshit that doesn't even taste good, doesn't satisfy, if you know what I mean. Ladies, gentlemen. All right, if it doesn't satisfy, why would you have it? File that shit in the world card and be done with it. For those of you that are still working on releasing and letting go, I suggest that you start with some deep breathing exercises. You can get yourself an app on the Google Play Store. Teach yourself when you're having an attack, a little panic attack, or having a full blown attack, or something about whatever this is. If it's very recent, if it's very fresh for you, get yourself a breathing app and just practice breathing. All right. Pace yourself because, even though this is for entertainment purposes only, we know that these situations often are all too real. All right. I'm telling the story and what resonates, for you will make sense for you. Okay. You can get yourself a breathing app. There's some beautiful apps on virtual reality. Like I've got, the Quest. You could check those out. If you don't have virtual reality, then don't use that. You probably have a phone. I mean, obviously you've got something. You're watching me. Okay, but there are lots of ways that you can meditate. You could do guided meditations on YouTube. But if you say that it's really difficult for you to let this go and that you're having a hard time, I want you to remember that it's even harder to recover time that you lost when you wake up 10 years from now and you're much older. And depending at the age and stage that you are, you're going to realize nobody is worth wasting your precious time on. All right, so let's get some names for you. Which one was I gonna? Oh, because I had to reshuffle a bunch of these. Oh, I was gonna get some hints. Let's do a few hints here, just a few. I don't want to get into it too much and get overexcited because I'm about to be very excited about a lot of things and I want to make sure that it's about sleepy time. All right. A charm bag is significant. Somebody could have been doing some kind of weird, if you want to call it magic on you. And it could be that you need to keep a mojo bag near you. The initial S is significant. This wasn't super deluxe. This wasn't super. Okay. This was whatever this is, you may need to protect yourself from it. S could be somebody's name. It could mean anything. Somebody's got a tattoo on their back. Maybe it's just a tattoo that is significant. It could be a back tattoo. I guess I don't know what these are called, so please don't tell Rita it's a scapular tattoo. No, I wouldn't know, honey. Okay. There's divine timing at play. I'm from a different era. We weren't like that. Wasn't, even to this day, I would never do that to my mother. I don't want it on my body. And she'd be pissed off. She's not going to see this one, but no, hell no. So I don't know what that's called. For all I know, that's a tat. I don't know. It's an ass tat for an ass hat. I don't know. Somebody's got a tattoo on their back. CERN is significant. Kali the Destroyer is significant. You know what? Somebody could have been trying to open a portal, do something really shitty. Don't think those things can't happen. It always backfires. Yes, people can get a bit scraped up along the way, but I'd rather sit there and protect myself and let somebody, fuck around and find out and see what happens when the backfire takes place. I don't wish this on anybody, but what I've seen happen to people is absolutely incredible. All right, let's see anything else, Holy Spirit. A forgery is significant now, I like this. Fuck 'em. Okay. A forgery is significant. Somebody could be a small person or they could have a small person, if you know what I mean. And this card should not be in here. I give myself permission to let go of people who do not serve my highest good. Holy Spirit, you're great. Thank you. You need to just let go. Somebody would take out their own mother. Just a few more because I don't want to get too crazy and then I'll start to channel shit. I don't want to channel shit. These people are shit. Okay, don't answer messages. Somebody may be trying to come to you, like I said, to apologize to you, and it's up to you whether you want to interact. You could be very polite and just say, well, if somebody's like, I'm really sorry I blew it with you. You could just say, well, thank you so much. I'm glad you feel that way and be on your way. Be done with it. You were supposed to come back so that they could finish the job. Oh, hell no. Okay, let's see. That's you never fit in with the crowd. Of course not. We're different. We're special. You're different. You're special. Okay. One or two more, and let's get some names. Somebody's just not well. Somebody in this hasn't been well for a very long time. I'm talking that there are some serious issues. There could be something, there could be a level of post-traumatic stress disorder. I don't know. All right. I couldn't tell you because obviously I don't know what the person is, and I'm not qualified to make that diagnosis. I can only suggest a diagnosis and tell you what I think. You're out of the country or they're out of the country, and they do have some kind of spiritually transmitted disease. I'm telling you that there's somebody here that has some kind of an attachment. Somebody could have a travel restriction, literally, not allowed to fly. Or somebody could be, stuck somewhere because of something that they've done. Swingers club is significant. Somebody's into some weird, stupid shit. This is gross. Like, I'm not saying that for sure. This in every part of this message applies to your situation because only you know which parts do. But this is some sick shit that, no, I wouldn't even let anybody like this touch me. There's something significant about somebody's nose. Do the math. Could be somebody doing math. Plants, all right? And look, why don't we wrap this up with full scum and coffin? And we have the letter H in a life review with the suicide hotline. Could be somebody may be close to taking themselves out because, there's something going on here that feels extremely nefarious. It feels like, in the very least, if it's not nefarious, oh shit, look at this. I'm going to have to say it. With coffin, suicide, and let's see, where was it? Life review. Where was it? I've got staged. Coffin staged. There could be somebody who's actually done murder before. There could be somebody involved in this situation that actually is responsible for relieving a person of their life, whether voluntary, involuntary, or, this could be something related to the service. It doesn't change the way that the karma works. I really don't want to talk too much or touch too much on that because, that's a whole different ball of wax. But there's somebody here that has absolutely no problem killing people, even if they say, well, it was in the line of duty. But I'll tell you what, they still don't have a problem with it. They see no problem with it. You have to be very careful with stuff like that. People like that, be very, very careful because they'll just as easily as they could take somebody else out, they'll take you out too. They could, and oh my gosh. And I'm going to show you this, but just as I was going to put the Housewives Tarot away, that person, your ex, is not in a good way. Now, it just doesn't, you don't always look at this card and say, oh, well, they're hurting because somebody cheated on them. I'm sorry. Lots of things can happen. Children get cheated on in third grade. They don't carry this forward. All right. But somebody is not well, is what I'm saying. They could be experiencing some kind of cardiovascular health. Male, female, doesn't matter to me. All right, because whatever it is, that's what's going on. So what did I say I was going to do? I was going to get just a few names. So look, bottom line, you need to let your ex and that whole thing rest. And I don't feel like this is you bringing any of it up at all. I don't feel like this is you attached to or holding on to anything. I think that you have a person that could come towards you to apologize. And you need to be very careful about even talking about where you live, where you go, what you're doing, who you're with, how you do things. Not because that person is so incredibly scary, but you need to let that close. The whole thing needs to be done. Close the book. Close the book because, there would be a whole lot. I'd be suggesting to you that, to be in a relationship with this person ever again, you need to have, everybody's going to need a full psychological evaluation. How do you like that? You're going to, situation like this would require literally making sure that you and the other person, so that nobody feels left out, gets a psychological evaluation so that you know what's going on. I mean, hell, for all I know, you're fucking crazy and, you are the cross watcher listening to me. There's something wrong with you. All right. So now you, as the person who, you could be the Sagittarius who didn't do a damn thing. You're a little angel. You never hurt anybody and you're polite as freaking apple pie. And it was never you. You never did anything. Well, I'm telling you that person is not well. That's why it's important to, I don't know. I don't know what to say. What I would say to you is, would you really want to do this? Would you really want to get involved with somebody who's this screwed up? I don't know. And none of the cards there for me, Sagittarius, show any inclination that you have any feelings of chemistry, of attraction from this person. All it's like you're feeling nothing. There's nothing going back and forth there. And if you're the cross watcher, let me tell you, that person lost that loving feeling. They feel nothing for you anymore. The charm has worn off. There's nothing there. All right, so somebody's name is Shaggy. Somebody's name is Star. That's funny. Kai. We have Lars, Ivan, Iglesias, Francisco, Tourmaline, Garnet. Funny. Jim, Milton, Leonda, Kokuchi, Madre. We have DJ, Junior, Glenn Shire. I want to say it that way. Guess, Henry, Cortez, Yoho, Keller, Martin, Michaels, Jada, Saunders, Jervik, Jordan, Dawn, and Rick again. Rick has shown up a whole bunch. Rick and Morty. Let's see. Let's pull a couple from a little bit different position to see if Rick comes up again. There are very few in here that are duplicates, believe it or not. I can't tell you how many thousands and thousands and thousands of names that I have. It took a long time to transcribe a lot of this, but we were also like destroying a bunch of records of, oh, I saw that flip over, of remote views that needed to not exist, but they were like really old. Some of them went back to the 90s. Okay, so let's see. And I started taking note. I know I saw it. I saw something flip the hell over. There it is. Is it another one? Okay, Nikita, you're not alone. Okay, Jennifer. Limerick. Hat. Nikita, you're not alone. Somebody loves Elton John. Elton John's got some really great music in terms of percussion, even just beautiful music. Somebody could play music. Somebody could listen to music. Somebody knows what to do with the music. Okay. All right, you guys. I hope that was good enough for you to get something out of it. That's more than just a story. I hope that you can understand that, there's a situation here with a person who definitely isn't good for you because they're not even good for themselves. They're not well, but you can't feel sorry for people like this, okay? Because it's not going to change anything. I'm not saying that there are people that are completely beyond help. I mean, I hope you feel, if you wanted to get back together with a person, I hope you feel something. Because it's going to take a whole lot to be with somebody who's already inherently a risk in so many ways. I can't even guarantee that that person knows how to be faithful to anybody, because the issue isn't about being faithful or not being faithful, being monogamous or not being monogamous, being loyal or not, or being disloyal. The issue is insecurity. It comes down to massive insecurity on a level that is unbelievable. That's why this person does what they do. But, even that sounds like an excuse because, you could find that you've got a narcissistic type right here. Take good care. Good night. Love you guys.